Some of you guys were asking when will we get the next producer's letter. The time is now. Hello heroes and villains, welcome to Multiverse. So we do have a new producer's letter. So it starts by mentioning some of the new changes we've had lately, like the cross-faction grouping, the changes to the ally system, the changes to the artifacts, and the fact that we have extra artifact slots, and more. Oh, and private matchmaking, and also the cross-faction leagues, the cross-faction grouping. So they talk about what they've given us lately, but now let's take a look at what they will give us soon. So they start with the update to the ally system, and they do mention that they did not cover all the allies just yet, but we should be able to get the rest of the ally by the end of the month. Seeing how there's about a bit more than a week left to the month, we should get the rest of the allies updated soon. He's also mentioning some changes to the knockout and revive system. So he does mention that those game improving design updates are currently in development, and we can expect them to launch this fall. So does that mean September, October, November? We don't know just yet, so sadly we're gonna have to wait and see. I have to admit, I am curious to see what changes they think they can make to improve the revive system. Oh well. Also, they do mention that there are some features like skippable cutscenes that are in the work. We already have an option to be able to skip cinematics in some cases and some missions. I guess they're going to either change the system or improve the system we already have. We'll have to wait and see for that, I suppose. And something that is highly requested, they do mention that they might do some balancing improvement to underperforming classes and powers. It is something that a lot of people have been asking for because sadly there are some powers that are, let's say, much more powerful than others. Now, I am under no illusion. I understand that balancing the powers, making sure that all the powers are perfectly balanced, that's pretty much a tall order, so I kind of doubt they will be able to do it. But at the very least, if they can make the powers a bit more balanced, that would be a good thing, I suppose. Although one of the worries I have is that sadly in the past, when people would test out powers, sadly there are people who sometimes have, let's say, an agenda. So let's say the people testing the powers are a big fan of tank powers and don't like the troll powers so much. Well, they might push to make the tank powers OP, and they might push to nerf the troll powers. Hopefully the devs will be able to listen to the right people. They're going to be able to ignore people who have an agenda. I guess we'll have to wait and see for that. Another thing that has been highly requested has been to make changes to the evil clamp. Ideally, some people would like the clamp to be removed, but here at the very least, they are talking about the scaling options to reimagine the stat clamping. Now, way back when, some of us already knew that the clamp was, let's say, not a good idea, but the devs were dead set into adding the stat clamp, and at the time the argument was that, listen, we'll add the stat clamp and we'll make adjustments along the way. And they did make one round of adjustments. Sadly, before they could make any more adjustments, there was a whole bunch of behind-the-scenes drama that happened at Daybreak, and they were never able to get around to making those adjustments. So whatever improvement they were planning to make along the way just never happened. So I'm very happy to see that they're getting back into it. Hopefully they will be able to improve the clamp, not make it worse. I guess we're gonna have to wait and see for that again. And they do mention the return of the Homecoming Seasonal. Some of you guys were asking when will we get the Homecoming Seasonal. The current events will last until August 26th. So if I was a betting man, I would bet that we will probably get the Homecoming Seasonal August 27th. But don't quote me on that, it's just a guesstimation on my part. And another thing they do mention is Batman Day. This year, Batman Day will be September 20th, 2025. In a nutshell, Batman Day is the third Saturday of the month of September. So they do mention Batman Day, but obviously they don't mention what new rewards we'll get for Batman Day this year. So sadly, one more time, we'll have to wait and see. And they are also mentioning that they will be doing more dev live stream. From what I understand, I think the last time they mentioned that they would try to make one live stream a month. So for those of you who are hoping and hoping that the devs would do more live streams, this will be for you. And of course, you can expect not just more dev streams, but also more giveaways, more behind the scene sneak peek. Now, the behind the scenes stuff sometimes allow us to be able to get a sneak peek at what's going on behind the scene, maybe to get some previews about upcoming content. So I'm sure some of you guys are hoping to get live stream for that. And speaking of sneak peek, we are getting our first sneak peek at some of the content from the Light and Rain Chapter 3. So here we can see a snapshot of the all-consuming darkness unleashed by the evil Lysodrak, and here we see the evil Book of the Black, which can only mean bad things in the future. Here we have a new gear suit in the works. I have to admit, I have no idea whose character this is supposed to be. And here we have an upgrade to our friend Kyle Rayner. Although when I look at the hairstyle, I don't think the hairstyle is much of an upgrade, but I might be alone on this. Although we also got a new Kyle Rayner emblem that's been added to that style. And yes, I can already hear you guys hope that maybe they will give us that emblem to use as player characters. That would be nice. So the first real bit of news we're getting about Chapter 3 of Light and Rain is that it is coming soon in September. Now, does that mean early September, mid-September, end of September? If I was a betting man, I would say that it's probably towards the end of September. Although that is only a guesstimation on my part, I don't have any insiders information, so I could be wrong and maybe we'll get it early September. So unless we do get an official announcement giving us the official date when the DLC will be released, all we can do is take a guess and see what happens. Also, they are mentioning joining forces with a renowned artist known for their dark horror story art pieces in the world of DC Comics. I have to admit, I have no idea who they're talking about. Could it be Kelly Jones? Could it be Ivan Rice? Even though he did a lot of superhero comics, he did also a whole bunch of horror stuff. And heck, he was the artist for Blackest Night, so he does know a thing or two about doing horror comics. But here again, they're just teasing us, so we will have to wait for a future announcement. And the letter ends with a reminder that this is your universe too. And we're honored to be sharing all of this experience with you. It's funny because it does reflect something I mentioned quite some time ago. Whereas at the end of the day, this is our game. Our game. Yes, we do have a whole bunch of new devs that came in. Yes, the devs are pretty much in charge of producing the game. But at the end of the day, it is our game. Some of us have been here much longer than most of the devs. Like, I think the devs that have been there the longest are like Red 5 and Glitter, who have been there for about 9 years. But some of us have been here for 10, 12, 14 years. Some of us have been here longer than any of the devs. And I'm pretty sure some of us will be here long after those devs are gone. So at the end of the day, yes, the devs are making the game. They're basically supplying us with a sandbox to play in and do what we want. But at the end of the day, we are playing the game. This is our game. We've been here long before any of the devs have been working in the game. And I'm pretty sure some of us will be here long after those devs are gone and have been replaced with a new team of devs. I guess we're going to have to wait and see.